greatest country in the world.
Soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen.
You are our greatest weapon of all.
First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one.
It's time we started talking. Pain isn't something we call.
All we can ever do for our heroes is remember them. And they gave up two lives, the one they were living and the one they would have lived. They gave up everything for our country, for us. They prayed for freedom and justice.
Some veterans not getting the timely care that they need. Less than 1% of Americans serving in uniform. Good news is that in recent years we've made historic investments to boost the VA budget.
What is it? Why should we care?
We should care about press freedom
Because we were informed.
In democratic societies, free, diverse, and pluralist media enable public debates and are essential checks
You don't
on
look
power.
satisfied. Let's discuss.
Hey guys, welcome to Bed podcast, new episode.
Hey.
Today we are talking about extraschedular VA disability rating. And extraschedular VA disability rating is one that grants you a higher rating than the one you would receive based on the standard rating schedule used by the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. In situations where the VA schedule of ratings does not adequately reflect your degree of disability, you and your attorney or VSO can make a case for an extra schedular rating. So how it works?
When it comes to rating service-connected disabilities, VA relies on the VA schedule for rating disabilities of the VA SRD to accurately rate veterans for their service-connected conditions. VA disability ratings are intended to compensate veterans for the loss of earning capacity due to a service-connected condition or a group of conditions. Rating on the VA rating schedule are referred to as schedular ratings. Schedular ratings are those that are listed in the VA schedule for rating disabilities. Conditions listed in the rating schedule are assigned numeric values or ratings that correspond with the increased severity of the condition. Ratings range from 0 to 100 and increase by increments of 10%. For each rating condition, VA outlines what criteria the veteran must meet in order to receive that rating. If a veteran's symptoms are listed in the rating criteria for their condition, VA will rate them appropriately based on those criteria without considering an extraschedular VA disability rating. If a veteran's condition is not listed in the rating schedule, VA will rate the condition analogous to another condition that has similar symptoms or treatment. These ratings are called analogous ratings. For example, VA does not have a diagnostic code for headaches, so veterans who are service-connected for headaches are rated under the diagnostic code for migraine headaches. However, there are times when the VA can rate veterans outside of what is included in the rating schedule. This rating is called an extraschedular VA disability rating.
So, those extra schedular ratings are assigned when the rating criteria for a veteran disability does not accurately reflect the level of disability. And usually this happens when the veteran experiences symptoms or limitation not considered by the rating schedule. And thus VA must determine if the veteran is eligible for a higher rating than the schedule sets forth. And extraschedular VA disability rating can be warranted for veterans who experience unique or especially severe symptoms of a service-connected condition. However, in order to receive an extraschedular rating, those symptoms must not already be contemplated or taken into account in the rating criteria for the disability, or not contemplated to the extent necessary for adequate compensation. And if manifestations of a veteran's conditions go above and beyond what is listed in the rating criteria, an extraschedular rating may be warranted. So what are the requirements to receive an extraschedular VA disability rating?
VA regulation under the 38 CFR 3.321B1 lists the criteria you must meet for the VA to consider granting you an extraschedular VA disability rating. First, you must display an exceptional or unusual disability picture with such related factors as marked interference with employment or frequent periods of hospitalizations as to render impractical the application of regular scheduler standards. This means your condition must be unique enough that the standard disability rating schedule does not adequately or accurately reflect the degree to which your disability limits your functional capacity. Most importantly, the condition that you are arguing deserves an extraschedular rating must be service-connected. This means you and your attorney must be able to demonstrate a clear, unambiguous nexus between a specific event in your military service, such as combat missions or training exercises, and the diagnosis of that condition in question. If the VA believes that a non-military event might have caused or contributed to your condition, it will probably decline your application.
So, how much compensation can I receive with an extraschedular VA disability rating?
Whether your disability rating is schedular or extraschedular, your monthly compensation depends on what the rating is. The higher your VA disability rating, the greater the amount of monthly compensation. The VA disability benefit schedule for 2020, which was last year, started out at 10% being $142.29 a month, up to 100%, which could be $3,106.04 a month as an individual with no dependents.
Yeah, with a 30% rating or higher, you can receive additional benefits for dependents living in your household, such as your spouse, children, dependent parents. So, extraschedular VA ratings consider unique disability symptoms.
Once you have applied for disability benefits and the VA has connected your disability to service, the VA then rates the severity of the disability and the extent to which it affects your ability to work. The VA uses this rating to calculate your compensation amount. For example, a 30% rating pays about $400 a month, or around $408 a month, while 80% rating pays about $1,500 a month. So the numbers don't add up like normal math, at least to most of us. The VA schedule of rating disabilities, the VA RSD, assesses disabilities based on body system, diagnosis, and symptoms. As with any such rating system, the criteria cannot encompass every possible situation, and the VA does not always apply the standard rating criteria formula correctly. Some veterans may receive an unjust evaluation. Sometimes a disability has unique manifestations that are above and beyond what the rating criteria analyze. These manifestations can have a devastating impact on the veteran's ability to work. Under these circumstances, the VA may refer cases for extraschedular consideration, meaning symptoms extend above and beyond the rating code for that disability. In the case of Thune versus Peak, the court outlined a three-step analysis that the VA now uses to determine whether an extraschedular rating can be considered. Demonstrate symptoms outside of VA rating criteria for extraschedular consideration. The VA first must determine whether the rating code contemplates the same level of symptoms the veteran is experiencing. If all your service-connected disability symptoms are included in the VA rating code criteria, the VA will deem a schedular rating adequate. You must be able to demonstrate rare and unusual symptoms that exceed what is contemplated by the rating code to qualify for an extraschedular consideration. For example, a knee problem may limit your range of motion enough for a 20% rating. But if that knee problem causes localized inflammation and pain when standing more than 30 minutes, an extraschedular rating may apply. Number 2, you want to demonstrate employment interference or frequent hospitalization. Once the VA decides your symptoms lie outside of the VA rating code criteria, it must determine whether the disability demonstrates marked interference with the employment or frequent periods of hospitalization. A back injury may not limit your range of motion, but if you experience severe pain after sitting for longer than 1 hour, a marked interference with employment could qualify you for an extraschedular rating. If your conditions meet both steps 1 and 2, the VA must then refer your case to the director of the VA Compensation and Pension Service, who will determine whether the disability requires an extraschedular rating. The regional office and the board are not allowed to award an extraschedular rating. So, number 3, collect expert evidence to support the extraschedular rating. Some veterans have unique circumstances, perhaps a limited work history and inability to sustain gainful employment given a unique background. In these cases, I will make a claim for unemployability on an extraschedular basis, and an extraschedular TDIU evaluation is based on the whole of the present circumstances, not speculation on the future of a well-educated, recently employed veteran. Although TDIU regulations require one service-connected disability at 60% or a total rating at 70, combined with at least one of those being 40%, you can still win TDIU on an extraschedular basis with strong evidence collected from vocational experts, occupational experts, and physicians that demonstrate the absence of an adequate schedular rating and marked interference of employment.
Yeah. So that's pretty much for extraschedular rating, and we got a little bit more information of how Court of Appeals for Veterans Claims deals with extraschedular cases. And this court is issuing between like 3 and 10 new decisions every weekday. And some are single judge decisions, some are precedential decisions, but regardless of the nature of the decision, every one of them holds a key to improving your VA disability claim. Because the veteran court is not a finder of fact, they can generally only adjudicate errors in law, or in some cases errors in the application of law to fact. And these decisions are very unique in the law. When the veterans loses, veteran court decisions give us insight into what a veteran could have done differently to achieve a different outcome. And when a veteran wins or secures a remand from the court, we get valuable insight into what the veteran did at the VA regional office or Board of Veterans Appeals. That, of course, the court rarely comes out and says something that obvious. So, extra schedule consideration, and these benefits could be off the chart. So it's a study of a case, Federal versus McDonald.
So this is a fascinating case and a harbinger for a big area of VA law that attorneys have started exploring. That area is extraschedular ratings. Literally, this area means that your ratings could be off the charts, meaning unrestrained by the caps imposed by the VA impairment rating charts. And so here's what this means. When a veteran's medical symptomology presents an exceptional or unusual disability picture that is not considered by the scheduler rating criteria, including such related factors as marked interference with employment or frequent hospitalization, the veteran may be entitled to an extraschedular rating. The case that got a lot of people thinking about this area of veteran law can trace its recent popularity to a case known as the Thune case, or Thune versus Peake. In this case, the court made it clear that in cases where the facts raise an issue of extraschedular consideration, the board is required to first determine whether the evidence presents such exceptional disability picture that an available schedular evaluations for that service-connected disability. The board is required to first determine whether the evidence presents such an exceptional disability picture that the available scheduler evaluations for the service-connected disabilities are to accomplish this, the board must compare the level of severity and symptomology of the claimant's service-connected disability with the established criteria found in the rating schedule for that disability. In normal human terms, that means this: if your symptomology is unique, and what veterans really isn't, then you might not be limited to the rating assigned by the impairment rating table. Now that you have this background, we could play with this case. The veteran in this case was rated at 60% for radiculopathy with partial right foot drop. He did not challenge that the scheduler rating was wrong, but that he had a unique disability picture that entitled him to an extra rating. The board glossed over this argument using language that I am seeing used in a lot of BVA decisions. If you see language like this in your BVA decision, it's time to contact an attorney familiar with the California Veterans Appeals Court. Symptomology and impairment caused by the veteran's service-connected radiculopathy with partial right foot drop are specifically contemplated by the rating criteria shown above. There are no other ratable symptoms stemming from the disability that are not currently considered in the rating criteria. Likewise, all of the veteran's symptoms and manifestations have been considered based on all available rating criteria for the disability. And so you could see that they're just kind of dancing around it. And if you think they are, certainly fight it. The court wrote that the board's conclusion was inadequate. Unfortunately, this is a single judge decision, so while it is completely binding on the VBA and the BVA, it can be cited as legal precedent. So a basic little tip: if your medical condition has symptoms and limitations that are not fully recognized by the rating criteria and the scheduler of ratings for that condition, ask for a referral for an extra scheduler rating. Little is yet known about how to best prove up for an extra scheduler rating in the claim, as the concept is not well developed in the law. And you see decisions where an extra scheduler rating is successfully proved, and we'll try to share those tactics too.
Yeah, guys, that's it for extra scheduler rating topic for today. And as always, do you have any great book, stuff, movie you would recommend?
Yeah, so if you guys watch the Sci-Fi Channel, watch this new cartoon called The Pole. It's written by a few guys from SNL, and it's ridiculously funny. It's adult humor, so.
And quote or words of wisdom of the day?
Do not take life too seriously. You'll never get out of it alive.
Yeah, said Albert Hubbard. That's it, folks. Thank you for listening. Until next time, over and out.
I think he's dead now.